everybody. Greetings. Happy Friday to you. Can you all hear me okay? Is it okay? I am so happy to see your beautiful faces today. We have a wonderful session today, as we do every day. If it's your first time or your 200th time, welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song, sponsored by Washington Rebels and Carpe Diem. We bring you, I get to say we now, with our fearless leader, Joe Rossi, and I think Aaron is doing our tech today. We get to bring songs of joy and information and love and information and all that good stuff. Now, I get to say greetings to every person. Arlene, welcome. Deborah, hi. Sarah, Karen from Arizona, Sheila, Becky, welcome Becky. Thank you for that gift. And Becky, come and Annette, how are you? And Lafferty, Gary, I always say that because Chris is my friend. Dennis, welcome. Bonnie, Rosalie, Julie, Valerie. I see a beautiful scene. I don't see the face yet, but that's okay. Lynn, hey, Harriet, it's wonderful to see you from Illinois, and Dion. And now I'm missing somebody because of my screen. But we'll go on. We'll go on. Kathy and Karen, Mabel, and Bob is on that list too. Susan Miller, welcome. Kathleen from Albuquerque. Carol, Karen Anderson. Sue, welcome. Ellen Shapiro. Jacqueline Elsner. Carolyn Wolf. Jane. Sean. Alice. Anna Cheka. Nesman, beautiful name. Deli, hey. Fred, welcome. Dan, welcome. Annette, Christina, and Bob, I think I already said welcome. And Carolyn, Steve, Tom from Victoria, Leslie Shaw, Luda from Victoria, Aloysius. Woo, I gotta go faster, y'all. Suzanne, Isabel, Lucy, and KG, Galloway, Lila, Nancy, and Nancy's Cow, and Barbara, and Jayla, and Busy, and Chris, and all these other wonderful people who I see their screens for us, like Sid and Diane, and Amos. Oh, there's Suzanne. Marnie, Catherine, Dwayne, Donna. You mean there's more? Woo! Y'all just welcome to the gig. This is the place to be. The place. And all of you Facebook folks. Woo, woo, woo. So, we are delighted to have a special guest with us today. Now, she had some problems with tech signing on, so I don't know if she's made it yet.
So I don't think she's here yet, and I think we should start with the Amidons, and
Yes.
when Faya comes in, we will move on to Faya. Faya, you're not here yet as far as I see, is that right?
Looking for fire. So we have the trusty Amidons, Peter and Mary Alice, phenomenal artists and singers and teachers and people that sow joy and love across the world. Take it away.
Thank you. I want to talk about Faya more when she's here. But right now, I'll just say that around 1990, Pete Seeger asked Mary Alice and I to run a stage at the Clearwater Festival that wasn't a stage where people sit and watch people sing, a stage where, of course, people sing with us. It was called the Circle of Song. And one of the guests we had on the Circle of Song was Jane Sapp, who's a wonderful gospel singer who has been devoting her life to working with some disadvantaged teenagers in the Springfield, Massachusetts area, and by singing gospel with them. And so she was amazing, and she sang the song, "I'm Going to Lift My Sister Up." And months later, Mary Alice just sang it. She just remembered it and sang it, and we started singing a lot, and we said it was by Jane Sapp until we found that it was not by Jane Sapp. It was by Faya Rose Toure, who is going to be our guest today, who we're hoping will show up soon. Anyway, that's the song. I'm gonna lift my sister up. And Faya Rose Toure, I'll just tell you a bit about her. She is the first African American female judge in Alabama. She's a lawyer. She's an educator. She's an activist. She's a songwriter. She writes these amazing songs. A lot of them with again like Jane Sapp. She writes a lot of the songs with the children, so often teenagers, I think, of Selma, so they know what their history is. I think this might be one of those songs. But in any case, it's a great one. I think we should just sing it. All you need to know is this. I'm gonna lift my sister up. Try that. I'm gonna lift my sister up. She is not heavy. Ready? She is not heavy. The whole thing a little higher. I'm gonna lift my sister up. She is not heavy. The whole thing, everybody sing a little higher. I'm gonna lift my sister up. She is not heavy. And then my turn. If I don't lift her up, your turn. If I don't lift her up, my turn. I will fall down. Your turn. I will fall down. If I don't lift her up, I will fall down. Your turn. Here. If I don't lift her up, I will fall down. And that's the song. Here we go. Let's get you more in the microphone, Mary Alice. It's very close to it.
I'm gonna lift my sister up. She is not heavy.
Everybody.
I'm gonna lift my sister up. She is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my sister up. She is not heavy. If I don't lift her up, I will fall down. And I'm telling you that I'm gonna lift my brother up. He is not heavy.
With harmonies,
I'm gonna lift my brother up. He is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my brother up. He is not heavy. If I don't lift him up, I will fall down. And I'm telling you that I'm gonna lift my mother up. She is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my mother up. She is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my mother up. She is not heavy. If I don't lift her up, I will fall down. Hey, telling you that I'm gonna lift my father up. He is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my father up. He is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my father up. He is not heavy. If I don't lift him up, I will fall down.
I'm going to lift my people up.
I'm gonna lift my people up. They are not heavy. I'm gonna lift my people up. They are not heavy. I'm gonna lift my people up. They are not heavy. If I don't lift them up, if I don't lift them up, if I don't lift them up, I will fall down.
So I just got to tell one story about that song. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you for your singing, and spread that around. We have a available on our the score is available on our Amidon choralmusic.com website. But anyway, we were singing that we were in our church service about 23 or 4 years ago with Shirley Crockett, who was this pastor who really brought life to the Guilford Church. We've had on our third pastor since that, but she brought it from a congregation of 12 to just a church busting with children and families, and we had to pick up the church and move it out back and make more room because it was because of her work. And she did what we called one day we call it now, it's kind of an archetypal story in the church, the bare tree story. She was talking in her sermon, and I always think there's always kind of a kind of a balance between when you talk about your own life and your own problems. There's a balance between, is it about you or is it really for, she was definitely telling this in a way that was really helping us, but it was about her own struggles and about how she felt like a bare tree. And when she finished the sermon, everybody just stood up and walked up onto the chancel and started singing, "I'm going to lift my sister up." And it was just, that's what these songs do. And that's why I think Faya Rose Toure writes one song after another like that are so filled with spirit and meaning and from her own experience that they're healing and they're really wonderful. Is she here, Joe?
So I'm not sure. I don't see her name. Faya, are you actually in the room yet? You actually have the power to unmute if you are. So I'm wondering if Kathy Bullock wants to stall us a little bit. She says she's coming in, and so the best I can do is say we can try waiting a little bit longer. Otherwise, you might all recall that Cissa Paz was hanging in the air somewhere between Brazil and here when she was on yesterday, and we made a quick change. So maybe we'll end up with Cissa and Faya Rose singing on the same day, some other day this week. We'll see how things go. Kathy B, do you have something you can sing along with us?
I was just, I love this song, and of course I love Peter and Mary Alice whenever they sing it. And so, Harriet, is your hand raised?
It is. Yes. Can I add to Peter's story?
Please.
I never met Shirley Crockett, but her husband, Larry Crockett, was an instructor at Chicago Theological Seminary. And I said to him, I heard about this camp for adults in New England. And Larry reached across his desk and handed me the booklet and said, if you get to Brattleboro, Vermont, I will take you up to Stannard, Vermont. And that was in 2002. And I go to the Guilford Church services frequently. It's just the power of music. And I do believe that the power of music revitalized that church. I have no doubt about that. And so thank you, Peter and Mary Alice. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Joe Rossi, for it truly is a daily antidote.
Yes.
If we want to be lifted up ourselves,
yes,
we have to lift up others.
Yes. Thank you, Harriet. And it was just what I was thinking as you were singing that. Oh my goodness. And it brought me to another song, as it always does, which says the same purpose. But if nothing else, even this COVID virus reminds us how much we need each other, or how much we affect or impact each other. We're not just living on an island by ourselves, and how we can get to that. So this one says, I need you, you need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me, agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive. That's why we say, I'm gonna lift my brother up, 'cause he's not heavy. wanna lift my brother up because he's not having no, 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 no. Cause you are important to me. I need you to survive. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby is right. Thank you, Kathy Bullock. So I'm getting all the pings on my phone that says she's trying to log in as we speak. So I think we should keep stalling, which is not hard if you're in a room with Peter and Mary Alice and Kathy B. So do you guys feel like chatting a little bit, telling folks what you're up to? And
I always feel like chatting with the Amidons. Okay, y'all, tell me what you're about. Tell them how much the temperature is where you are in Vermont.
It was 1 degree this morning. Very, very cold.
Lots of
Very
snow.
cold. Yeah, a lot of snow. But we continue doing our virtual choir work. And it's just the way to keep our congregation singing. We're about, we have about, I told Kathy earlier that we've done 150 virtual choir pieces since the pandemic started. And so it's just, it's a labor of love. It's not the same, just like this is a labor of love and this is not the same, but it's real. It's keeping us singing, it's keeping us connected, and it's giving us meaning in our lives.
Yes. When I wake up sometimes usually I would wake up really bubbly, but sometimes so discouraged looking on the television and what's happening with the impeachment. We still have people dying from the COVID. I mean, I can go down a list and it'd be so depressing. I just pull the covers back up and not vote. And then a song comes. And then a message comes about spirit. And then I see your faces. And there's hope in the land. And joy and appreciation, Peter and Mary. Just like you said, all of you. And it makes me very thankful. Some other people talk about this cold temperature. I'm from D.C. and normally it's a little warmer there. And I'm Southern in my heart. So this cold is a bit much. It's ice storm here in Kentucky, but hey, we're working on it.
Go ahead.
Go on.
No, I was just going to say also just how, and I told Joe just how we met Leah Morris on January 7th when she sang A Dedication. That's the name of the song she sang, that really wonderful song. And I had somehow, I think I realized when I went through my emails that she showed up referenced by other people, but I was just not aware of her until I met her on the 7th and just was really blown away. And and then we sang that song. I contacted her and she had permission to sing A Dedication. It was in church. It's one of her virtual choir pieces. It was just perfect for the following Sunday. But that's just to say how, and we were talking with Joe about, as well as this really great, wonderful group of singers who connect, for performers and song leaders. It's been amazing. It's been extraordinary. I've been meeting one amazing song leader after another who now, even though I've never seen them in the flesh, like Leah Morris, I feel like is my friend. I feel like now I know them. They're part of our very important circle of friends. On the daily Antidote, feeling that meeting them right here at this daily Antidote.
Can you imagine the reunion party when we get this all together, Joe?
That's right.
Oh my God!
That's right.
I can.
We'll have to have it across the nation, in different aspects. We just have to go party from one end of the country to the other.
The Daily Antidote bus tour live.
Really?
Really? That will result in a CD and probably a television mini-series, and then So I'm just working. That's what I do. Yeah.
Behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, exactly. I want to make an announcement for anybody who's new in the room. Where we at some point you may have to leave, but we will stay in the room a little bit longer. And if Faya joins, we will keep Facebook on, and you will be able to go to the Facebook page and actually watch it later. So if you need to leave because your lunch break is winding to a close, just know that you can find us later if she's able to make it in. And I'm just going to make sure that we don't have Faya in yet. Faya, you're not here yet. Is that right? Oh, wait. I just have another email. Hang on. All right, now they're saying just 1 second. So Amidons, do you want to go ahead and do the vote for me song?
Sure.
Since you said that's great.
I think I'll play. Let's trade places. We're going to trade places.
This is,
We got an album. We have a cassette tape we got a long time ago. I don't even know where it came from.
Children of Selma.
It was
Alabama.
called the Children of Selma, but it just showed up
They
in
were
our
on tour.
It showed up in our house one day, and it didn't say anything. It didn't say it was anything. It even said Jane. I don't think it said anything on it. And again, we thought it was Jane Sapp, but turned out it was another Faya Rose Toure, and that's where we learned the voting song. Father, take a stand, vote for me until I can. Sister, brother, take my hand, vote for me until I can. Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man, vote for me until I can. Voting is more than a right, you see. Voting is your responsibility. Voting is more than a right, you see. Voting is your responsibility to me. So, sister, brother, take a stand. Doctor, lawyer, no. Sister, brother,
Mother, father.
Mother, father, take a stand. Say that. Mother, father, take a stand. Sister, brother, take my hand. Your turn. Sister, brother, take my hand. Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man. Your turn. Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man. That's all I need to know. We'll do that again. Here we go. Mother, father, take a stand. Vote for me until I can. Sister, brother, take my hand. Vote for me. Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man. Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man. Vote for me until I can. Voting is more than a right, you see. Voting is your responsibility. Do it again. Voting is more than a right, you see. Voting is your responsibility to me. Do 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 do. Keep doing it. Do 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 do. Hit it, Mary Alice.
I'm just a little child, you say. I know what's going on in the world today. But when I hear the children cry, now I have to ask the reason why. I would like to bring about a change. But I'm too young to play the voting game. Won't somebody hear my plea now to go to the polls? Vote for me. I say, Mother, Father, take a stand, vote for me until I can. Sister, brother, take my hand, vote for me until I can. Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man, vote for me until I can. Voting is more than a right, you see. Voting is your responsibility. Voting is more than a right, you see. Voting is your responsibility to me. Hello, Faya, you're here.
Hey, Faya.
Hey. I know you.
Oh, hi. It's so great to see you. So we've been talking about you a bunch already, but I'm going to do a little more introducing if it's okay, Joe. So Faya Rose Toure, the first female African-American judge in Alabama, lawyer, educator, activist, songwriter, and amazing human being. One time, a friend of ours, Paul Diddell, took his students from Brattleboro down to Selma. He takes them every 2 years, the middle school students, and they meet a lot of whoever is still alive of the activists from the civil rights area on their civil rights. And they met Faya Rose Toure one time, and they were very, very excited about that. Faya Rose Toure was headed up the Pigford versus Veneman. I think I said that right. In 1997, it was the biggest, the largest civil rights case in the history of the United States. And
I was in it.
Why don't you tell more about that?
I didn't head it up. I was very involved, and I was I eventually in the second lawsuit became one of the leaders of the lawsuit. But my law partner, J.L. Chestnut, I give him that credit.
But could you a couple of things. Could you just talk a little bit about what that was, and also maybe about how how you see the world, the United States now since that lawsuit is passed, you know, from then until now. Is that?
Well, you know, some of the hardest working people in the world are farmers. I think we could agree to that. And after slavery, we were never given the 40 acres and a mule, but black farmers were able to acquire 15 million acres of land without the help of the government. You know, where white farmers were given money to go out north, out west and buy land and buy farms. We weren't given that. And yet we were able to acquire those farms. And the U.S. government systematically dismantled most of those farms and put people out of business. It was just a terrifying situation. And my law partner, along with a lawyer in D.C., Phil Frost, a good man, along with others, they filed that lawsuit, and Judge Freeman declared it a class action, made it a class action. And in order to proceed in that lawsuit, the statute of limitation that ran on most of these farmers. So my law partner and Phil, they made a compromise. They said, we will give up our attorney fees. We will not charge the farmers if you will set the statute of limitation back to 1981, which allowed thousands of people, including, because eventually there was a women's lawsuit, a Native American lawsuit, a Spanish lawsuit, which allowed a lot of people to join the black farmers lawsuit. The first suit was a disaster for the lawyers because the government systematically fought us, would not pay us fees. We were almost put out of business. We borrowed money to service people all over the country, and the government just didn't pay us. In fact, one of the largest suits we won was for New Communities. Y'all know Shirley Sherrod and her husband Sherrod. We won $14 million for those clients. And I doubt it took me 12 years to win that lawsuit. It was the largest judgment in a black farmer's case. I had to go to Washington to try it. I went all over the South getting the evidence. The government, with all of that, I barely got $150,000. It didn't cover anything, not even my staff. So it was a fight. The second lawsuit was the women's lawsuit. Then there was and very few white women. It was really a shame. Very few white women applied for that women's lawsuit around me. And there were white women farmers, but they just wouldn't apply. But it covered them. And then there was a second lawsuit because a lot of people got left out of the first lawsuit, and that was much more lucrative for my firm. It actually saved my firm, and quite a few people were able to get their money, but nobody got the money, was compensated truly for the loss. When you lose your farm, there were farmers who committed suicide. There were farmers who lost their families. It was just a tragic situation. And so now the movement is brought into that for reparations for people who are not farmers. So
wow.
In a nutshell, that's it.
Yeah, thank you very much. And maybe would you sing something? Would you lead it?
Well, you know, if I known you were going to talk about the farmers, I wrote a song for farmers, but I'm not going to sing it. I'm not prepared. I'm not a singer. I'm a songwriter, but I like to live the life I sing. I did write a song for the black farmers years ago. We're trying hard to save our land, but that's not what I'm going to sing. I wrote a song during the pandemic that I'm going to sing.
Okay, great.
And it's called The Only Time That's Mine Is Now. Miss Nelson, I need you to come and hold this while as I said, I'm not a singer, I'm a songwriter. And I've written probably over 300 songs, maybe more.
Incredible.
So this one I wrote during the pandemic. She's gonna hold the phone for me. Okay, now I just practiced this morning because I forgot this was the day, so bear with me. Okay. You got it? You want to get a little closer?
I'm trying to turn the camera around so you can see you.
They can hear me, they don't have to see me.
I got it.
You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I may never see tomorrow, and today is only borrowed, and the only time that's mine is now. never see tomorrow, and today is only borrowed, and the only time that's mine is now. Oh, the only time that's mine is now. People are dying by the multitudes, and whether we live or die is not always ours to choose. The pandemics are raging, the world seems so crazy, and the only time that's mine is now. People are dying by the multitude, and whether we live or die is not always ours to choose. Pandemics are raging, the world seems so crazy, and the only time that's mine is now. Only time that's mine is now. I will embrace every minute, cherish the love that's in it, because the only time that's mine is now. Oh, the only time that's mine is now.
Faya, that's so beautiful. The only time that's mine is now. You just songs that flow out of you are just are classics the moment they hit. The moment they come out, they're classics. That's really wonderful. Thank you so much. I got to mention that Faya wrote this wonderful book of songs called "There's a River Flowing Through My Mind: A Unique Historical Journey Through Black History Using a Collection of Music and Stories." I didn't know about this book, but Becky Graber, my very good friend, Becky Graber, gave me this copy, and it's just amazing. It's filled with interviews of and talking about a lot of the many different Black leaders, some of whom you might have known, some of whom you would not have known, and with Faya Rose Toure's great storytelling. There's a river flowing through my mind, a unique historical journey through the Black history using a collection of music and stories. And I think Joe put it on the. Did you put it in there? Yeah, it's in your chat. So.
Do you have the CD that goes with it?
Oh, there's a CD that goes with it. I don't know. I'll have to get that. That's the next thing I'm going to get.
Yeah, well, you know what? You can't get that on Amazon. They only publish the book. We'll have to send you the CD.
Okay, we'll be in touch. I'll definitely want that.
But I really would like y'all support, because one of the museums I started, the Ancient African Enslavement Museum, we just had a major storm, and the roof is really going to destroy the museum. And all the money I've never made money off my music. All of the songs I write, all the books I write, all of it goes to my nonprofits. But I really need people to buy that book and the CD so that we can raise the $25,000 we need to fix that roof. So if y'all will help push that. But that CD, Amazon only sells the book.
The book, right.
The CDs to the people.
Thank you.
So is the CD available through the Selma Center? Where is it found?
It's available through the Jubilee office. You know, we do Crossing Jubilee every year, so it sells the book and the CD if they want to buy it from them.
Okay, so Aaron is going to poke around online and find the link for the Jubilee version of to find the like that.
Because we have an online store. The Jubilee has an online store. Yeah, that's better than buying it from
Absolutely.
Amazon.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's good to know. We'll buy it directly from Jubilee.
And I'll text you the Jubilee website, how to get on the store. But I think if you as a matter of fact, the Jubilee this year is going to be on Zoom. So if y'all would put out to your supporters and network members that the Jubilee, because of the pandemic, is going to be on the 5th, 6th, and 7th. We even have a virtual march. So they can go on the site, and it's no fee. They can register selmajubilee.com. selmajubilee.com.
selmajubilee.com.
And you can register to be a part and choose which of the activities, because their activities for 3 days. A lot of the living history legends are going to be, have already been interviewed, and we've already crossed the bridge, and all that will be shown on the 5th, 6th, and 7th. And then I think if you go on bridgecrossingjubilee.com, they'll tell you how to get the book.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Faya. Thank you, Amidons. Thank you, Kathy Bullock. Thank you, all of you, for being here today. Faya, thanks for all that great stuff. So just so you know, whatever links we didn't find to put in the chat, we will send in tomorrow's email. So everybody in the room who gets the email, you'll get the links. And if you don't get the email, please go ahead and pop your email address into the chat for us, or email me. My email's in the chat, and I will make sure you get the links that Faya just mentioned. Faya, that was the most incredibly beautiful song, and it made me cry, and I saw others in the room crying, and I'm so grateful that you shared that. And before you entered the room, the Amidons shared the Vote for Me song and the Brothers, Sisters, Take a Stand song. So we've had a whole Faya Rose Toure medley today in this room. It's been so precious. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
Well, thank you for doing this. I think it's a wonderful thing to do at a time when there's so much negativity. Songs and music always inspires and lifts people up. As a matter of fact, that's what one of the songs I started to sing was I Want to Lift My People Up. But since this, Miss Nelson thought this was the most appropriate one.
That's great.
I'd love for people to share this song, so feel free to people, if you like it, or feel people to share the song. The only time that's mine is now.
That's great. Thank you so much, Faya, for joining us today. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody on Facebook Live. And just a quick note, if you're watching this around noon Eastern time, you can always switch over now into this room where we're going to have a little more discussion. You can go to the Rebels DC website and click on the Daily Antidote of Song and click on the link to join us here in the virtual room. And otherwise, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you and sing with you again tomorrow. And